70 plus partners. And our mandate specifically is looking at how to create a pre-implementation evaluation framework for governments, investors, big corporates, academia, and all the key stakeholders if they are ready to do the implementation for AI, digital twins, and virtual world in their cities. So currently we have put together 172 indicators covering about 14 different domains, all the way from political mandate, vision, use case, risk management, human capabilities, finance infrastructures, pretty much all the key aspects, so that actually when different organizations are interested getting involved in Citiverse and looking at, what are the key missing points before they start to deploy, budgets and, resources, they have a clear idea on how ready they are. So this is one part of the work we are currently leading. And also another thing I think, as many of you have noticed, is the hypes and, hopes of different technology. I remember when I started the whole metaverse development in 2006 as part of my master dissertation, everyone thought I was crazy and people thinking I was playing computer games every day for my full-time PhD, which is mad. So as you can see, it takes time for people to understand the utilities and value for them to get involved in new technologies. And now, of course, we remember that like nearly 15 years later, Mark Zuckerberg, changed his company's name from Facebook into Meta, and suddenly worldwide everyone's thinking about, metaverse is going to be the next biggest thing. But however, it's not really easy to commercialize the technology at its current stage. And we just see the news that a few days ago, actually Mark Zuckerberg sort of, is winding down its metaverse business. So lots of people come over to me and saying, Christina, metaverse is dead, but why on earth are you guys still working on the Citiverse? It doesn't make sense. But if you're having a look on the developments of all kinds of different technologies, it's always going around in circles. No technology can achieve mass adoption in one go. So for what we are all passionate about now, for AI, it started in 1956. And so it's a technology which has been there for 70 years. It already died twice. Each time we call it AI winter. And Jeffrey Hinton and Yann LeCun, who we are called like the godfather of AI, they actually started their PhD during the time when everyone thought AI is completely a dead end. So I think what really matters is really about utility. It doesn't matter what kind of technology we're utilizing. It's really about how we can provide values for our end user, especially our citizen. And I guess for lots of municipal governments and national governments who are attending the conference and looking at utilities of Citiverse, the key is actually how we can use different simulations, 3D visualizations, to allow our citizens who are traditionally more like a passive recipient in the whole process of urban planning to play an equal role in the co-design and co-development of our urban future in a way which is support our people and our planet. I guess that's the beauty of Citiverse. And I want to say a massive congratulations to our colleagues in the European Union in particular, because they allocated a massive funding, as I understood, about 80 million euros so far, and I'm sure there will be more based on all the wonderful work done by my colleagues in Valencia, in Finland, and in Spain, etc. So I guess the key is how we can have a very pragmatic approach to make the whole thing work. It wouldn't suit all the cities and all the governments, but if we can only find one use case, either it's attracting more tourists using virtual tourism in the 3D virtual world, or if we can, have better citizens engagement or satisfaction, that's good enough. We don't need to tick all the box. It's never going to work like that. And also, what excites me most in the past 12 months is the convergence between AI and the 3D virtual world. So lots of you utilizing digital twin for different level of simulations, all the way from built environments to floods, simulation, to traffic simulations, environmental impact, biodiversity, etc. But what's happening now is AI is starting to move beyond just 2D chatbots. And Yann LeCun, who left Meta last year, publicly announcing the death of large language model, although his co-founder in AMI, who he was able to manage, raising 1.1 billion euro in last month. And his co-founder basically said, large language model and large word model in 3D, they're actually complementary towards each other. So we are seeing how we can use AI to generate 3D avatar, 3D objects, 3D virtual world in a way which will be never easier, cheaper, and faster for every single one of us to get involved. So that look back very efficiently to what I have talking about before, about citizen-centered digital future, how our citizen can use potentially future large world model to generate their built environment, their city, their country in collaboration with traditional top-down approach from national governments, investors, property developers, all the way to our citizens. So we see a beautiful convergence where everyone can start to participate in the urban planning of our future to ensure everyone's happy and no one is left behind. So I think on that happy note, I want to hand over to my wonderful moderator, Vice, and let you continue the discussion. So I think overall, the future is very bright. And if we want to put a financial on that, I want to quote Jin-Seng Huang, because he said in January 2025, when he was launching Cosmo, which is basically another version of large word model from NVIDIA, and he said we can use large word model virtual world to train humanoid robots, which is going to be valued for $50 trillion opportunities, which is about 40% of the current global GDP. So what we are doing now is not only pioneering, it's also commercially viable, and also it's going to benefit our people and planet. So on a happy note, I want to congratulate every single one of you who have already started the journey, because the future is very bright, and the future is how we create the one, beautiful world for everyone involved. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you for your insight, and thank you for your time. And I'd like to give the floor to Honorable Teppo from Finland. So, because he's doing fantastic job, and I think we have two leaders in Europe, Valencia and his city. So the floor is yours, and I'm really appreciate for your time and for your insights. And what do you think about this Citiverse and the future of Citiverse? The floor is yours, Stephen. Thank you.
Thank you, Val, and hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you might be. It's good to bring you greetings from Finland, from my city, Tampere, which has been working on the topic of Citiverse. Actually, we started a very good journey with my friend Christina on developing the metaverse vision for the city of Tampere back in 2023. And now moving towards the Citiverse concept, which was in EU sort of bringing this notion. And I like the Citiverse because it has the citizen in it. So it's like citizen verse. So it is Citiverse with I, which is important. And for us, the journey towards the Citiverse has always been a journey where we are looking at what does it mean for our citizens. I kind of like my good friend and colleague from Rotterdam, Roland van der Heijden, saying that this is a merger of three different dimensions. So merger of the physical, the virtual, and social. And taking that social into account as well brings the human aspect into it. So for us, it has been a wonderful and exciting journey, which we have been trying to beef up with use cases that have been able to also showcase our citizens, our politicians, what are the benefits of bringing these themes together. Our vision towards 2040, of course, is a great vision of a city which I still like the theme we used there, which was the cognitive city, which kind of brings it all together into how the city can actually think and act so that people are becoming part of it. And we also see that the advancement of technologies, even those 3 years that we have been working on, the topic has been just huge. And we can rely on the technology being there. So we don't have to be worried about, if the technology actually allows it. It's more like, how do we use it, and how do our people use it? To me, one of the key elements of bringing Citiverse live is to get the acceptance of the citizens, acceptance of the people, ability to use the technologies, because there's a lot of things that we just within our head we just cannot figure out, and that's why we reject a lot of those things, good things that could be happening, because we don't understand it, we don't trust it, and we don't believe that it's something which we can do together. For us, being the city where we enjoy a huge level of trust. I mean, Finland is a country where people trust. They trust the government. They trust trust each other, and that's probably why we were selected now the 9th year in a row the happiest country in the world. And by the way, Tampere is the most popular city in Finland for 17 years now. So being in that position is pretty good. But the happiness reasoning is behind the reasoning of that is trust element, so that when people are trusting each other and trusting the society, that also brings a good opportunity for us to use technology in a way that we want to use to help our citizens. So people then trust their data, they trust their information with us, so that we can better help them in their everyday life. And that is the goal for our Citiverse, is to how we can actually help the everyday life of our citizens, how we can make it visible in their everyday life that technology is there. They don't have to understand it, they have to know it, but they have to be comfortable that a lot of things are happening because of the help of technology. Now it's becoming more visible because I think we're all familiar with the physical AI and the robotics becoming much more, and we see them on the streets every day. We see them happening around us every day, and it's bringing more of these features that we once thought were more like science fiction now into reality of today and tomorrow. But then we have to be building on this trust element at the same time that we have the people with us. The other important thing for us has been to think about, okay, with that trust, we need to also make sure that the people who don't necessarily are sort of native users of digital technology, like the elderly people, how we can make sure that they can also be benefiting of that. So the user interface is one of those things we have been working on quite a lot, and see what are the user interfaces, because not everybody can, use a smartphone or use a computer. How can we help people who don't have that ability, or people with disabilities? So that has been one of the focal areas we've been working on, and getting, there's very exciting new things happening around that, how we can use different types of technologies as user interface technology without needing you to type in or tap in, or it's just based on the, at most it could be even the just look at the movement of your eye, or even the facial expressions that can be interpreted into user interface. So we definitely want to see how that can help, again, our citizens, our people, to take this advantage of the services we can then bring so much better to them. And also from the city point of view, it's important because the use of resources, right now, a lot of the city resources are not effectively and efficiently used, because we don't exactly know who are the people who need the services and how the services should be directed to them. In the Citiverse world, we believe that with the help of using data and AI, we can be much more targeted in a way that we put our services to use for our people. And the citizens, in our mind, also include our corporate citizens. So we need to be working with our companies and making sure that we provide the best opportunity, the best platform for our companies to work on. That's why we have been happy to have a lot of different type of experimental platforms as a city that we have been offering to the companies to use and test their different technologies and different services. And we have been working with all kinds of companies. And typically we work a lot with the smaller companies and startups. We also work with the big global giants, and we have been really, really happy that we have been able to get those big global giants also work on our conditions. So a good example is something we just did, and we just finished the POC phase of a kind of immersive experience of people coming to the city and coming to an event in our arena. And that was an idea we put together and presented to one of the big global tech companies, and that is Microsoft, where we could convince them that this is an idea they should be looking into. And we had a development team of 10 to 15 people working on that almost half a year to make that happen. And we did that in our Eurovision Song Contest Finnish edition. And it's absolutely fantastic that you see the team combined with other companies in Finland and combined with our city team working together to bring something up which was quite unique, and we still continue to develop that to make the best use of it. So basically it's a kind of AI assistant that helps you to come to the city. Right now it's using the phone as an app, but in my mind I see it already when you have the smart glasses, which are good enough and cheap enough, and it's bringing this AR feeling and the immersiveness to you when you come to the city. One of the taglines we had was that if the city could talk, and that is what it does. When you come to the city, it talks to you, it guides you through. If it knows your preference, if it knows your data, it can actually do everything for you. It can book you, the tickets to shops and guide you through to the event and show what's happening at the event, show if there are lines at the restaurant, and can do all these sort of things to help your experience, and also add to the experience itself with a digital layer of that. So we're pretty excited about that, and we see also other use cases. It's not only for the sort of a smart tourism point of view, it's for the citizens, but it's also something we're now working on to do the similar thing for our immigration, so the immigrants who come to the city, how we can help them to learn the city and know the city in a better way in an immersive reality. So there's so much things happening right now. We're so excited about C and enjoying this ecosystem approach that we have been having. So working together with the city, with the other public sector officials, with the universities, and with companies, all sides of companies, to make these sort of things happen. And like we said, we want to boldly go where no one has gone before. So we want to be testing those new sort of things and new ideas and make that happen as a reality. So Citiverse to me is a full of opportunities, full of potential. And we need to just work on the things also on a global front. As Christina was mentioning, we're part of the same groups in the ITU Citiverse team. I'm also part of the group developing digital development goals for U4SCC. And these sort of things are exciting because also you see this happening all over the world, and you can also see that how can help other cities who are not that developed yet or that far ahead in the thinking. What kind of guidelines and principles and frameworks you can put in place for them to use. And also one of the examples that we're happy to share is how to work with the big tech companies, because that is also an art itself. To work with them, and that's something we have been happily doing as well. So with these words, I'm handing it over back to you, Val. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Honorable Teppo. I'm really excited of your job in Tampere, and Ernesto is here. And Ernesto, if you are ready, you're warm welcome, because we are in Valencia, in virtual Valencia, and I will be able to give you floor. Ernesto?
Hi, good afternoon, good morning for others, good evening, whatever, because as this is a virtual event, we are taking advantage of that. But on the other hand, we're losing the opportunity of being in Valencia, the nice city of Valencia. Some of you knows the city. We have a sunny day here as usual. And well, even though it would be better to be all together here, at least virtually, we are connecting in this Citiverse. That thank you, Val, for organizing this and inviting me to participate in the name on behalf of Valencia and our team. We welcome you all to this nice event. And well, first, let me give some words about my uh, why I'm here at this moment. Because well, I'm Ernesto from the city of Valencia, from the municipality. I'm the head of the Smart City and Data Management Department, and I have also some roles in other at other levels. For example, I'm the chair of the LDT CitiVERSE EDIC, and I have seen here our director, Jan Bester. And with regards to the initiative that my colleagues Cristina and Teppo have mentioned, the global initiative on virtual worlds and AI discovering the Citiverse, launched by ITU, UNICC, and Digital Dubai. Well, I'm co-leading the pillar 2 of the initiative, that is for kind of transferring the strategy to the cities in an operational pillar, and I'm leading also the track for emerging technologies. And collaborating with, especially in this scope, I see Cristina and Teppo that are leading different tracks in this amazing initiative that I invite you to be part of it. We are producing some deliverables that are one of the main outcomes of this initiative, and it's really recommendable to have a look and or read in depth these documents that we are producing, or a group of relevant experts are producing. So apart from that, I would like to highlight the relevance of this topic of the Cityverse, because I remember in last Smart City Expo World Congress held in Barcelona in November. As far as I remember, there were 5 roundtables talking about the Cityverse. So it's a clear indicator that it's a topic that is now trendy, and in the future years, it's expected to play a relevant role in the IT ecosystem at the worldwide level. So, apart from that, as my colleagues have mentioned previously, there are a lot of funding opportunities, a lot of calls that are focused on this topic. And there are different initiatives that are synergetic with this topic. For example, I would like to mention the EDIC, the LDT CitiVERSE EDIC, that is focused on local digital twins and Cityverse. So these two concepts that are, in a way, two faces of the same coin. One, the Cityverse adding the component of immersivity that is especially used in different domains. Well, with regards to Valencia, well, we are really committed with all the Cityverse initiatives, and those related to digital twins and Cityverse, and especially because of the fact that we are orienting our policies to be data driven, and based also in the possibilities of simulation that the digital twins are providing to us. So, and in which domains we are using these Cityverse initiatives? We have identified mainly 4 domains in which we are starting or using the Cityverse advantages that this topic is providing us. So first, tourism is one of the most obvious ones. As you may know, tourism for Valencia city, and generally speaking to Spain as a country, is key sector for our economy, playing a very relevant role in our GDP, and with a lot of people working in this domain. So giving the possibility of adding immersivity could improve the tourist experience, and also using different tools, also improving this coexistence with the citizens in each city. So another domain could be the urban planning. We are now trying to add this component of immersivity to our main developments at city level. And also related to that, the participation. Participation would be another of our pillars in which Citiverse could play a relevant role. So giving this opportunity to interact in a more friendly way is also very, very important for us. So, and also from the perspective of the citizens, having this possibility of assistance, a virtual assistant. So the evolution of a chatbot, let me say, using natural language. So all these things that could improve the experience of assistance to the citizens could also be really important for us. So, and another thing that I would like to highlight is the importance of the standardization. So we are working at different levels. Some of us working with different tools that are related to standardization. For example, this related to memes that have different implementations at the European level, at United Nations level. Y memes, X memes, so or meme plus. Better said, so different initiatives to improve the interoperability. That is another of the main aspects. Another aspect that my colleague have mentioned is the relevance of public-private partnership. We need all the stakeholders, the four elixirs of our ecosystems, not obviously leaving behind the academy that is could play a very important role here. And to finish with, I would like to highlight, in my opinion, the main challenges that we have in front of us to make this Citiverse successful. One is the challenge of making it useful. So, because I know that we will carry out very important projects related to the Citiverse, but at the end of the day, we have to measure the impact. I know that my colleague and friend Christina is working on this assessment of the impact of these initiatives, and also the relevance of having the important use cases, another of the pillars of the initiative. I recommend you to read this document with the use cases. That is excellent, and for me has opened the scope of this initiative about the Citiverse. So the first challenge would be to make it useful, and the second one that Teppo and Christina have mentioned before is no leaving anyone behind. So the inclusivity. So it's really important not to make it bigger, the digital gap, but reducing it. Well, and that's all from my side. I wish you the best for the whole event. I will try to be in these interesting sessions that you all have planned. So I'm sure that it will be really successful. So thank you.
Thank you, Ernesto. Thank you, Ernesto, for your support and for possibility to be here in virtual Valencia, and all documents will be online on Google Drive, and if you'd like to share with audience, feel free, send me message, email, and let's go ahead because we don't have a lot of time, and I'd like to give the floor to Rami from Egypt, Vice Chair of U4CC. Rami?
Thank you. Thank you, Val. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we it's
can.
great. It's great. Can you hear me clearly? Okay. It's great to participate in this esteemed event along with colleagues, very familiar faces, Christina, hi, Tipu, and all colleagues. So thank you for having me and for inviting me, and hello from Cairo. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. So my name is Rami Ahmed Fathi. I'm the Vice Chair of the ITUT Study Group 20, driving international standardization in the IoT, digital twins, and smart cities, smart sustainable city space. I'm also the Vice Chair of the U4SSC initiative, and I'm currently leading one of its thematic groups on the digital public infrastructure for cities. The topic that we currently are discussing today is of paramount importance. And this is for multiple reasons. So first, we are witnessing the emergence of what I would like to call that cyber, physical, virtual, urban continuum. It's a mix of cyber physical systems now adding metaverse and extended reality and all form of those haptics and integration of sensory and visual effects into a single platform. And this is exactly where digital twins and immersive platforms and intelligent systems are becoming operational layers of the city itself. It's not only a layer of access, it's a layer of actually operation itself. And these are not experimental systems. And we have seen now, as Tipu has explained, and Ernesto and other colleagues, that it's currently being implemented as we speak in different cities all over the world. So, in this particular continuum, cities are increasingly being represented, simulated, and in some cases even governed through digital twins, through immersive environments, and through AI-mediated services. And these systems are not peripheral, they are now becoming operational layers of the urban infrastructure. And accordingly, and as we stand at this particular intersection point between urban digitalization and immersive and digital emerging immersive technologies, we believe that there should be some technical foundations that should enable interoperability, scalability, and trust. And today I would like to bring to you a UN perspective, the UN standardization perspective coming from the U4SSC and Study Group 20 standardization viewpoints. And in particular, my interest is to showcase or to identify three key pillars. And these are the data part, the security part, and the decentralization part. So first, for the data, we all know that in smart environments, data is considered the lifeblood that drives intelligence services, from mobility to energy to public safety. Yet without common frameworks for data governance, sharing and data sharing and semantic interoperability, its value remains fragmented. So standardization efforts towards harmonizing data models and open standards are essential to unlock the cross-domain innovation while ensuring that data remains meaningful, accessible, and responsibly managed. So this was the first pillar. Second pillar, equally important, and to me is really a bottleneck in that particular overall ecosystem, the security. We all know that as billions of devices become interconnected, the attack surface expands exponentially, right? And trust cannot be an afterthought. We cannot push cybersecurity controls after the fact that we have developed our infrastructure and services and we have finalized all the integration elements of our system. So it must be built into the architecture itself.
Excuse me, Rami, we have just only 2 minutes, and if it will cut it, you're welcome to next session, because we don't have a lot of time. Thank you.
I will wrap up then. So security and trust cannot be an afterthought. And if I may also to add quickly a third element, which is decentralization. So decentralization is the next big thing, leveraging edge computing, federating system, and emerging paradigms, for example, as distributed ledgers, blockchains, etc., is a third.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
What would be the best way to move forward? Thank you for that, and I look forward for a fruitful discussion in this very important event.
Thank you, Ramit. Thank you, everyone, for participating. And we'll have one more session today: AI, robotics, real estate, etc., AI job market. And you are welcome to next session, and will be appreciated for your support. All documentation will be on Google Drive, and you can. Send me any information you want. And Ernesto, I I am grateful for Citiverse Valencia, for Smart City Valencia, for your support and for your participation in this event. Thank you so much. We all appreciate you in person, because without you it was not impossible to be a Citiverse Valencia in physical and in virtual format.